Hey, Cy, Jared Glover. Okay, so this is what I thought maybe the best way to do this. Since you're not going to be here, there's a lot to the Grand Wagoneer. So really, I'm just going to do a video. This is probably going to be a few minutes long, but I'm just sitting in the driver's seat and going to kind of walk through some stuff. So, you know, and if we were in person, I'd probably say, hey, let's spend 20, 30 minutes doing this. I'll try to keep it to 5. We'll see how long the video ends up being, but just something you can reference back to, and maybe it will just help you along the way with questions that you have, since we're not going to get to do really a hands-on delivery with you. So I paired somebody else's phone to the radio just so I can demonstrate Apple CarPlay. I don't know if you have an Apple or an iPhone or an Android, but CarPlay and Android Auto are really similar in their feature set. So I'm just going to show you how that works. So mirror controls here, rotate this all the way back 180 degrees for your power folding mirrors. This is all of your seat adjustments, including the headrest, so it's 4-way adjustment for the headrest. And then this is a lumbar support, and this is how you actually lean forward and back. This is an extension for the seat base. And then this is how you activate massage seats, which is also can be activated from one of the screens I'll show you in a second, and memory function 1 and 2 as well. Headlight controls, parking brake, pull on, push off, adjustable pedals. These are your gauge dimmers and your ambient light dimmers. And then of course, headlights, fog lights, marker lights, headlights, auto. Side of the steering wheel, tilt and telescopic power. Right here, driver's information center, and if you can see, I don't know if my phone's going to catch it, the heads-up display, it's flashing right there, just at 0 miles per hour. So there's a bunch of settings. I won't take the time in this video, but from the steering wheel in park, you can get into heads-up display settings. If you want to move it up, down, control the brightness, control the amount of information that's displayed up on the windshield. So this is in the navigation setting. So any nav that you have started over on the main radio will push over here, prompts and stuff like that. It'll also prompt you in your heads-up display if you're approaching a turn. Bluetooth controls. If you press and hold this, it'll activate Siri or whatever the Google Assistant is if you have an Android. This is a menu button that if you look, it kind of opens up all sorts of stuff here. You can go to ride height settings. So this is your air ride height settings, some of the off-road pages. This is your media page. The center one is your information center. These are some other gauges, and that's your navigation. So the information center is where, you know, you're just day-to-day driving, you can stay in here, and one of these activates your night vision. So there's your night vision. And that will only activate if your headlights are on, because they don't want you trying to drive around with your headlights off. And then this is driver assist, so that's lane hold. And there's 2 different types of cruise control. So you can turn cruise control here, which activates adaptive cruise. This lowers or decreases the gap. This increases the gap. This is the active drive assist. So if you activate that and then set your cruise control, these sidebars will turn green when it's active, and then the car is going to completely control its speed. It will auto brake. It will auto accelerate to the set mile per hour that you set. It will keep you in a lane. But if you completely let go of the steering wheel, after about 5 seconds, those will go from green to orange, and then it'll beep at you and ask you to grab the steering wheel because it doesn't want you just driving completely hands-free. But, you know, a light touch is it just senses that your hand is there, so literally a light touch. And if you're going, you know, a few hundred miles, however far you're driving, it'll keep driving. So that's that. Gear limit, you know, really, if you're towing, if you want to hold it in first gear because you're pulling a boat up a boat ramp or something like that, that's really the use here. And then I'm going to transition over to, you know, blinkers, brights. It's got automatic high beams, mist, rear wipers, and I'll go here. So this bottom port, there's 2 places for your phone. These USB ports feed to Apple CarPlay. So if you don't want to connect via Bluetooth and do it wirelessly, you can plug in there. And then this HDMI port is for the passenger side screen, which is for a whole nother video if you want some help with that. This button here puts this screen down. This is some of the seat controls and some of the climate controls. So a lot of this is redundant from what you can do up here, which I will get to last. But massage functions, rear air functions, seat settings, you can adjust lumbar here, and then this is the front HVAC settings, and you can sync the whole car right there. So now the left, right, rear all matches. There is a secondary rear, let me flip this over. There's a rear HVAC screen in the middle of the back seats. They can control all their own HVAC settings right there. More USB ports here. I'm gonna open this back up for a second. Okay, so this is the lane departure warning. You can turn that off because the car will hold itself in a lane. So if you're, if you change lanes without using your blinker, the car will fight you because you haven't used your blinker. So it's going to try to keep you in that lane. You can deactivate that there and that won't happen. Traction control, that's how you disengage. Hazard lights, park assist. This is an auto park function. I haven't tested that, but that's what that's for. Parking sensors, so if you're towing a trailer or pulling in real tight into the garage, turn that off and it won't beep at you. Tow haul mode, and then this is the activate button for the passenger screen. Ride height, so right now we're in normal. When you get up on the highway, it'll put itself in aero mode, and then there's an off-road 1 and off-road 2. So say snow, ice, if you just want some more ground clearance. You can travel with off-road 1. If you go to off-road 2, I believe over like 15 miles an hour, it's going to automatically lower itself back down. Here's your traction settings for the four-wheel drive system. So, pretty simple. Sport, snow, sand, mud, and rock. And, of course, your transmission shifter is here. A common thing that happens with Chrysler products, if you have a door left open and you try to drive, it will auto park itself as a safety feature because it knows the door's open. So if you ever get auto parked, just double check your doors. That's a common thing that people have questions with. This button is hill descent control. Again, another off-road function. So if you want to control the pace at which you're descending a hill, and this isn't 30 miles an hour. This is like 5 miles an hour and under that would activate. And then four-wheel drive low is here. So you would need to shift to neutral, put the car in four-wheel drive low to activate that. And again, you wouldn't want to drive that over 10 or 15 miles an hour. So all your AC controls are physical buttons here. Cool off, warm it up, front defrost, rear defrost. This is your mode settings, and you can see things change on the screen whenever I am toggling this. Fan, so high, low, and off. And auto, max AC, recirculate, and that's the passenger temperature controls. So here is Uconnect 5, the 10.1-inch screen. There's so much customization inside of this, so I could probably spend 20 minutes just on this screen. But some just off-the-cuff things, your heated seat controls are over on the side. Use the whole pad of your finger. Sometimes they're a little touchy. If you use the point of your finger, it doesn't want to recognize it, but if you use the pad of your finger, it will, if you see the difference there. Pull down here, menu just like a phone. That's your shortcuts, so you can get to say you're parking, you want to get to your surround cam while you're in drive, you can do it just like that. Another feature is called the fam cam. So this activates the camera and the ceiling in the back. So, we've got little kids, so for car seats, like I can pinpoint the exact seat that I want to watch, depending on where you have the rear-facing child, if you ever need that. But you can edit and modify whatever shortcuts you want here. Media page allows you to go through your different sources. I'm on Apple CarPlay right now, so I'll show you that here in just a second. Comfort is part of the redundancy from the lower screen. So in my wife's car, she leaves a lot of her stuff down here, lip gloss and stuff like that. So her screen is never shut, so she does everything up here. So it's a little bit of redundancy if you don't want to leave the bottom screen shut. Here's the factory navigation. Very good system, but I find myself always using CarPlay just because I can do it with Siri. To me, it's just a little bit easier. So here's CarPlay. And if you're familiar with CarPlay, there's a lot of apps supporting it now. A lot of the radio apps, you know, if you have Amazon Music or Pandora, I'm borrowing a friend's phone, so he's got Spotify. He uses Google Maps, which integrates well. And then any phone calls, messages, anything you can do right here. You can, you know, it'll read it out loud. Any phone calls, you can listen to voicemails, go through your contacts, make a call, and you can do all of this with Siri as well. So I can just try. You know, this isn't my phone, so hopefully she listens to me, but let me try this real quick. Give me directions to Jim Glover Chevrolet.
Getting directions to Jim Glover Chevrolet. Starting route to Jim Glover Chevrolet.
So if you see this now, so this is an Apple CarPlay nav that is integrating with my driver information center. So it's telling me 25 feet, turn on to the access road, and you're not going to be able to see it, but this is also now on my heads-up display. So it's really cool how they've integrated CarPlay nav with the car's screens. So you could have the passenger doing something totally opposite, and I'm still going to get my nav prompts over on the main screen. So the vehicle goes to some settings. You can turn the power steps off. You know, you can fold the headrest of the seats in the back. You can get to the fam cam here. There's off-road pages here that you can also activate on the other screen. And then these are just, I mean, tons of settings that you can just feel free to just go through and get it set up exactly how you want it. And then the apps page has basically any category, you know, everything the radio can do, and you can change settings or activate. You can drag and drop. This is really intuitive, so you can put it, you know, put it on your shortcuts bar that pops out of the top if you want to. Like here's the relax mode. But as this activates, there's different screens you can pick, and if you look, that activated the passenger screen. It activated over here. You have to be in park for this, but they've got a fireplace. Pretty cool. If you ever intend to take a nap in the car, you want to hop into relax mode to do that. Okay, so in CarPlay, if you tap this twice, it lets you launch Device Manager. And this is where you can add, delete, so add device. You can have 2 active phones at once, just like we do right now. So my phone is disconnected because I'm videoing. Kaylin's phone is what's connected, so I could show you CarPlay. You know, before you get this, I'll delete both of our phones, but it's just go to add device. You'll make the car discoverable. Then you can go into the Bluetooth settings of your phone, and it'll say Uconnect-8A357MJ. I mean, I made that up. It'll be something like that. And as soon as you hit connect, it'll prompt a code, and it says confirm that this code is displayed on your phone. You say yes, and it'll ask if you want to allow Apple CarPlay connection, and you say yes, and then everything else handles itself wirelessly. I know I'm leaving stuff out, but that's about as deep. I'm 14 minutes in. If you have any questions, I mean, obviously we're going to be here to help you, but I thought this video might be helpful. The one thing I didn't talk about is the 4G Wi-Fi hotspot. So this button right here, this is powered by AT&T, and basically it's built-in data for the car that you can set up an account. I did mine with AT&T. Set up the hotspot, which will turn it on and then allow you to set your own password and name the network. So, you know, you can name it, you know, size Wagoneer or whatever you want to name it, and you can buy data. So this particular one doesn't have the rear video screens, and my wife's with the screens. You know, we basically bought a data package, to where the boys can stream Amazon or anything of the sort, and it's all, you know, they just have to start it on the screens because the car's connected to the internet already. So that enable button is right here, and once you hit that, then it'll show up in your available networks if you've got an iPad or a laptop or something you want to connect to going down the road. So with that, I think that's pretty all-inclusive for the front seat. If you have any other questions, let me know. I didn't go up here. I mean, this is power lift gate. This is for dome lights. You can, that's how you turn the whole car dome lights on all at once. This is how you defeat the lights when you open the door. So with that button lit up, when I open the door, the lights will not come on. This is Uconnect Assist and SOS, so that's part of the connected services that we'll get you set up for. And then this is how you open your sunroof, so obviously tilt, and then the full open here. But this has 2 stop points for the big sunroof. And then this is the digital rear view mirror. Takes a while to get used to. I am on the fence about it. Some people love it. Your field of view without the camera is probably about that. So if you look, try to show, I'm going to be in the way. Well, that's a really bad example. But as you can see, you can turn it off if you just want to use the mirror like normal, or kick it on like that. And there's some buttons to adjust settings here to where if you want to dim it or if you want to raise it or lower it, there's a little bit of adjustment inside the digital image itself. Home link, garage door openers, pretty simple process. This is in your owner's manual if you want to program your garage doors. It's just a sequence of button presses, and then you hold a button and hold your garage door remote, and it'll flash at you when it programs. So besides that, if you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully this was fairly conclusive. So thanks for your business, thanks for your time, and call me, text me. I'm here to help. Thanks.